Ming. Hi everyone, thanks for coming along to our life skills class. I'm Diane, your teacher, and the Mad Hatter today. So just introduce yourselves, that'd be great, thanks.
Lucas.
Hi Lucas, good to see you.
Bianca.
Hi Bianca, thanks for coming along. As you can see, we're missing a couple of people, but that's all right. So look, the first thing I want to try and do today is just show you how to put a button on a bit of material. And in front of you, you have one of these, which is like a travelling set for sewing. And it's handy to have one of these in your bag, especially if you're going for an interview or something. And if you suddenly have a button pop out, there you go. So let's open them up and have a look what we've got. Okay, so scissors, thread, and this. This is one of the most important things you'll ever use when you're sewing. It's a needle and thread. Needle. What is it? Have you seen one of these before?
I've seen it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get a needle. And there's some here too. And there's some in the pack, but they're very, very small, so I wouldn't use them. If I were you, I'll just move that out of the way, the iron. So, do you like a needle? Prick yourself. Okay. So with these, just get any coloured thread that you want. I'm going to take blue. Just pick a thread. If you want to just take some cotton from here. Okay, so I'll show you how to use these needle threaders because they really make life easier. Would you like a hand? No, you got it?
I got it.
Okay, so don't cut this or anything. We'll keep it connected for the moment. So get your needle and your threader. Put your threader into the eye of the needle. It's harder when it looks in the light. Okay, so then while it's sitting there, then you get your thread and you put your thread through that part here. Okay. So it's hooked in, and then you just pull the needle down, right? And voila, it's threaded.
I've never used one of those before.
Oh, they're really good. So you don't have to have that part. Yep. Then I want you to double thread, use a double thread while we're doing the buttons. Now the best trick with cotton is because it knots, don't have it thread too long. There's a good trick. You put the needle on your palm and you only have the thread that goes to this part of your arm. And there's a good way to have it so that it doesn't seem to knot as much. Okay? So we want it double threaded, and then we will, while we still have the, we'll cut it. I don't know if these little tiny
They're so
scissors
small.
will work, but I do have some larger ones here, Lucas. You might find those easier. I know. Do they work? Yes, just, but now I think I've broken it. Look, I've bent it. Okay, so to do a knot, take the end, put it over 2 fingers, much like a balloon. If you've ever blown up and tightened a balloon, put it through and voila. Doesn't matter what length. Okay, now we're ready to sew on our button. These are cute. Yeah, they're Christmassy. I thought it'd be apt. So I've got material that's actually got lines on it, just to make it easier for everyone to line it up, or put it in the center of the square so you can sort of sit it in there, or where the 2 holes are, you can line those up on the actual red smaller lines. 2-hole one first, because there's 2-hole buttons, there's 4-hole buttons, there's also buttons that just have a hook on them as well, and they're more likely to be used for like jeans and things like that, but if we have time we'll do those ones as well, and we might even be able to, I'll show you how to sew on badges and metal badges onto your clothes so that, you know, your favourite badges don't fall off in the mosh pit, if you're ever in a mosh pit. Okay, so the best idea is to hold the button where you want it. Yep. And bring the needle through the material. I would just put the needle through first. If you can't find the hole, you can just put the needle through first. Yep. And put your button, put it through your button. Now don't pull your thread all the way to the knot. Leave a little bit of room at the back. Okay? Okay, so the next stage is to just take your needle over and down, and then have a look at the back where your needle's coming out so you don't stick your finger. And then just have a look at the front and make sure there's no things like a double loop or something like that. Just clean it up a bit now. Turn your material over, and where your knot is, take your needle between the 2 threads and then pull it through, and that secures it. So where your no, there's no such thing as wrong. So see here where we've made the loop, put the needle between those 2 threads. Yeah. Yep, and now just gently pull it all together. Keep going, yep, that's it, you got it. And that keeps it firm. Now, with doing your buttons, what you want to try and do, so it makes it easier, is now when you come up where the first one was, and a good trick is to place your fingers on either side of the button at the back. So that way you're holding it firm, you know where it is, and you've got less chance of actually putting the needle into your fingers. Now, once you get used to doing these, you can actually make your thread either 4 or 6 or, you know, as many times doubled over as you like, hence the use of your needle threader. It makes it a lot easier to get it through. So, having a bit of trouble today. Alright, so we just keep doing that over and over. And then if you have a look at the back, you'll know exactly. So you try and keep the back as neat as the front as well. And then when you've done it a few times backwards and forwards so that it feels nice and firm, I'll show you how to finish it off on the back. Does everyone feel like theirs is secure?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you get to the back, what you want to do is just make a small stitch, and just remember you don't want to make it too big because we just want it small. So like something like that little bit like that. Okay, and we want to go over and we want to do a few stitches there like this in the same spot, exactly the same spot. So that's going to secure it. And of course, you know, you get all bits and pieces caught in it all the time, but don't stress about that too much. And then, it's a bit windy. Then once you've secured it, try and keep your material flat. You don't want it bunched behind your button, then it makes it look really daggy. Yep. So once you've done that a couple of times so it's nice and tight, then you can just cut off the thread, not too short. We want a bit of length. Put your needle, always try and put your needle into somewhere safe. You're right with those ones, yeah? And then what you can do just to be on the safe side is with your thread you can actually do a couple of knots close to the material, so it's like doing up a shoelace, and you just tie it against there and then cut off your ends nice and short, and it should stay on forever. Might need sharper ones. Oh, you made it too short. That's okay. Better when you've done something live than actually trying to do it the first time from just having instructions, because without pictures, but even with pictures, it makes it really, really hard. Okay, well, that's pretty good. We've done well. So now I want to go on to 4-hole buttons. Now the thing with 4-hole buttons is the best thing to do is always, if it's you have to sew on a button that's on a shirt that's already got a button, you'll notice they'll either sew it up and down or across. And the trick is that you want to get the threads on your button going the same way as on the shirt button, okay? Or the whatever you're trying to mend. Okay, so let's get our needle and threads again. Harder in the wind, isn't it? I just thought it'd be nice and relaxing outside. That's alright, I'll show you. So, just put, no, you've just got to pull the needle up. That's right. Keep going. And you've done it. Perfect. You just headed in the wrong direction. And so sewing this one on is exactly the same principle. And I've picked small ones because it's not as far to put the needle between, so it's a little bit easier. Okay, same principle as before. Somewhere on your material that you're happy with. Bring the needle through. Now with these ones you can also do a cross. So you can actually make a cross with it if you don't want to do just the square, or you can do it on 4 ways. So there's plenty of different ways to be able to do this. So the first part is just getting 2 done. So this is where you've got to decide if you're going across or down. Okay, I'm going to go down with mine. Same principle as before, bring it through and then through the knotted bit of material of the cotton again. And then where your needle actually went down under, so that's at the back there, then bring your needle to the one closest and up through. do across.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Lovely. Says Lucas. Excellent. I like to see that initiative. Love it. Now, do you mind if I just take a couple of photos of everyone working just for TAFE?
Yeah, that's fine.
Peppy's not doing much. The puppy's not doing much. Excuse me, you sleeping in the class?
Wake up. What are you doing?
I'll just get your hands on what I'm doing. Thanks, Lucas. Thank you. I appreciate this, everyone. Thanks. Okay, so... Oh. Oh, what have I... Oh, that's a bit wrong. Okay, so the same thing, once you feel it's secure, we can finish off the same. Oh, that's great. We might get through putting on the badges and the single one, because with this single, doing the single loop. I've only got one button, but I just wanted to show you a little trick with them, because especially with jeans,
They always pop off.
yeah, they do. Now, if I can remember where I put it, because it's white, of course. I might have put it in with these.
Not these little ones.
No, it's got a hook on the back. It's just a single hook. It's not actually that sort of one. Oh, well, sorry about that, everyone. Where I've put it. Okay, so you know with jeans and how when you buy jeans, they pop off sometimes, the pop rivet. Rather than go out and buy an expensive pop rivet maker, you actually can just buy nice big heavy buttons, and they generally have a loop on the back. They're sort of like called navy buttons. And when you sew those on and you go through, because it is a hook, you can get the cotton and wrap it around underneath. So just say this is sitting flat like with your button, and when you've come up, you actually loop the cotton between this thread and the button on the external side of it, and it holds it a lot thicker, and you can put more than double. You can actually triple your cotton into your needle using your needle thread. And you can also buy a proper buttonhole thread, and it's almost like fishing line. It's really quite good. Yeah, it is, especially for jeans. Now I'm just going to pause what is it, camera. I'll be right back.
Peppy's getting helping.
Okay.
You helping.